The worst is I get called Noodle.
Noodle?
I get called Noodle.
Hey,
They call me Noodle.
are you guys done yet?
No, we're talking. We're talking.
We're live on the Facebook.
It's been forever, Facebook. It's been forever. What is happening?
2 weeks to be exact. I mean, which feels like forever.
Which feels totally like forever.
This is episode number 20, by the way. 20.
Congrats, you guys.
20.
Wow.
Do you know what that really means? I've had to put up with this guy for 20 episodes.
It means we haven't gotten fired.
We haven't gotten fired yet. Yeah.
Let's let Nick and Tristan just just kidding.
So before we get started and introduce our guest, Noelle, I want you to tell everyone where you are at, and so I can have massive FOMO right now.
We are in Laguna Beach. Laguna Beach, everybody. Let me show you. Live. There's the ocean. Don't get a view like that in Minnesota. I mean, we have Lake Superior.
Or in Colorado.
I had such trouble leaving it today that I left myself no time to fix my hair, people. No time. It's all wet here. But we are here for Closing Table. Closing Table, which is a very high-level mastermind, where people like Lana come to check it out.
Yeah, I've been invited. I feel very privileged, and we will see. Yeah. Looking forward for next 2.5 days, masterminding with you, with Carrie Schul, Sam, a couple other cool cats. So very, very excited.
Familiar faces here.
Is Sharon there?
Sharon is coming. I haven't seen him yet. The elusive Sharon will be showing up, I hear. We'll see.
Okay, so before we get started, there's a reason why we brought Lana on, was because she did something recently that was really cool, and we're going to start by showing that. So bear with me.
Oh my God. Let's do it.
I'm going to go hide in these bushes.
You got it up there?
Yep, we can see it. Let's hope the sound works this time. We never get it.
Here we go.
How much fun did you have making this?
So much fun. I mean, how can you not to dance to the song? It's so catchy. Really, right?
Oh, so good. So good. It's at 11,000 viewers.
This is crazy. I never had so many views. A bit unexpected, but I'm not going to say no to this, right?
Oh my gosh.
Who cares?
Did everybody participate?
Kind of. We kind of didn't give them a chance. We're like, hey, we're doing this video. Want to get in front of the camera? And who cares if you know the moves or not? Ha! Just fake it till you make it a little bit, you know?
Are there specific moves for this?
There is specific moves. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be clueless. Clueless.
Yeah, so, and then of course we had to highlight beautiful parts of Colorado Springs. Give a shout out to our city where we live.
Have you had any people trying to like respond with the video coming back?
So Noelle, you know what I noticed? Every time you do any kind of video that's kind of a bit catchy, you always get good responders and bad responders.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, any publicity is good, no matter what kind of video you're doing, especially if you are in real estate or lending and if you're self-promoting. But yes, we got mostly good responders, but some of them be like, these people should not be dancing. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And you should not be talking.
Oh, no, this is exactly why you should be. You know what? And I applaud you, which we can finish that by, could you guys hear that? Because it was loud on my end.
We can't hear it very well.
Okay. Well, you got the point, right? So everybody knows that song, right? I don't even know what it's called. What's it called?
It's a get up challenge.
It's the get up challenge.
Get up challenge.
Who's the singer of that song? It's a country singer, right?
His name is something Brown.
Lane Brown?
Possibly, yeah.
I think so. So that song is like, in fact, somebody brought that to me. I'm surprised they didn't bring it to you, Noelle. They brought that to me like in June and said, you guys need to do a video with this song. And I'm like, oh man, I got to learn that dance. Holy cow. And I never did it. And here you are. And look at the freaking power. Have you ever had a video with that many views in that short amount of time?
I have not. And there was, honestly, super fan here, been following you, Jeff, and you, Noelle, for quite some time. And I wanted to go do something like this. You know, I addressed in the beginning of this year, hey, we want to do a music video. There's a good buddy of mine, Bob Tompkins, with a country media real estate song. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Bob's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, so he went viral. So I was like, I want to be like Bob. I want to be like Noelle. Well, clearly we also sell real estate and we don't have time to properly plan and execute. And you know, I told my videographer, I was like, man, we're going to do this week. I don't care if we're ready or not. I don't care if we know the moves. We're going to do it, and we did it. And then we, next week after that, we edited it. Did it came out as I was planning to. There are some things maybe I wanted to do different, but you know, if you don't do it, if you don't put it out there, it's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. So that's what happened to us. And 11,000 views. I mean, okay, that's great.
Good. It's so good. And I would argue, Noelle might disagree with me, I would argue that the more awkward the dancing, probably the better.
I mean, you know I'm going to disagree, right?
Of course you are.
No,
of course you are.
But see, I mean, I have not pulled off yet the dance parodies, the singing parodies. I haven't done any of those. I did the Coke bottle challenge.
That was
or
good.
the pop bottle.
That was good.
Bottle cap challenge.
And see, every time I see you putting out that, I was like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Because I just didn't, you know, and you do it with such a perfection. And it just, I feel like you're a perfectionist, is it right?
I am.
Yeah, she is. I'm not. I don't know about you, Jeff, and I don't know about our audiences, but for people who are watching and they want to start doing the videos, but they haven't started it yet, I say just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. As long as it's done, as long as it's out there. I started doing videos in the beginning of January when I hired in-house videographer. When I look at my work last year, what I was doing on my own, my iPhone with my computer, I was like, oh my God, let's delete it. Let's delete it out of, social media. So
it does definitely help once you're at that stage to bring a videographer on board. So you've got a full-time videographer, or is it like somebody that you've contracted with, or who is your videographer now?
Actually, we have a very talented gentleman named Preston Hartman. He is our full-time videographer. And this is how it came to me. Last fall, I went to Carrie Schul Hyperfast event, and that's where I actually got familiar with lab coats and then got familiar with you. And I had a privilege of touring Carrie's office where she has a team of 5 videographers. And I was like, whoa,
it's crazy.
I'm a bit behind the curve. I'm going to at least hire one. And that's what I did. I put an ad in a local newspaper looking for marketing, social media manager. I had about 100 applications. You guys not going to believe that. I had plumbers applying for this job, literally. I'm like, okay, all right. And I went through all the resumes. I requested for some social portfolio reviews, and his portfolio was just right. He did video, drone photography, real estate photos, and it kind of hit almost all the spots. And we brought him on board, and we let go of the contractors who we have been contracting before, and he has been with us since then. So he does real estate photos, drone photos, video walkthroughs for our listings, and everything and anything that I envision in my head.
Yeah.
Most of the time we're trying to implement all of it when time allows.
Well,
we know it well.
I think that's the key. And Jeff, you might be experiencing this now, but once you have a videographer on staff, the trick then is coming up with consistent content and coming up with ways to keep your videographer busy with relatable material that, one, your audience is going to like, but 2, that's also going to help you do the business of real estate, whether it's to attract agents to join your team or whether it's to attract sellers and buyers. You know, once you hire that full-time videographer, there's all sorts of stuff that you can use them for.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But let's not intimidate people who maybe cannot afford to hire a full-time videographer yet, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs who do videos, and you can actually negotiate and hire them for an hourly rate.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's what I had going on. But unfortunately, back then I was working on their agenda and on their schedule instead of mine. It was very important for me to have those videos filmed when I wanted to, you know?
Yeah. Yep. And that is the trick. So when you're hiring a contract videographer, what I always say is look for somebody that shoots weddings on the weekends, that has spare hours during the week. And then once you find that person, make sure that you drill down like what your expectations are and what their expectations are for turnaround time. Because they might be used to turning around weddings and having a whole month before they have to put something out. And if you've got something that's really time sensitive, like you're hopping on something that's really trending and you want to have that video a 2-day turnaround, you need to make sure that you're communicating that, because some videographers may not be willing to turn things around that quickly.
You're right. You're right. And I want to say something about that too, is when it comes to hiring a videographer, you will pay so much more if you do it just one-off jobs. Whereas when you hire the videographer, and in our defense, we're not like underpaying videographers, but what we're doing is we're giving them a guarantee. So we're guaranteeing you a salary. So even though, like my videographer, we talk about this all the time, he could make way more per video, but he'd never get a fraction of the number of the jobs, because that's just the way it is. And so it's actually, I think, more affordable than people think, but you're right. They can contract that stuff out, get their feet wet. I did it that way for 2 years.
Yep, totally.
Yeah, and it's also all about analyzing your marketing budget. Where are you spending your marketing dollars? I know a lot of you guys are working by referral as well. Our business is 95% of referrals, and client events is a big driving factor. So it's very important for me to film these client events to showcase future, past, and new clients, what we're all about. And that's like his primary focus too.
Yeah, well, one thing that your video that we just showed did for you is it showed your team culture. And that's what our video has been so important for, is just showing the culture of our office, so that when people want to work with us or people want to join us, they already have a really good idea of who we are, like what our personalities are, and that we're fun to work with. And, yeah, you did a good job with that.
I have not met most of the people in your office, but I feel like I know them because they're just such characters. And I feel like when I meet them, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Like, who are you?
But that's the power of video. And Jeff and I always talk about the power of video. It's a pre-introduction before you've even met somebody.
Absolutely. And one thing what we started doing is because, okay, we're doing video, we're doing this and that, but I always think, how does it benefit my clients and my community? So what we started offering is, we have a lot of military members, and we, in the month of October and November, we have a lot of homecoming. So husbands are coming back from deployments, and we offered complimentary homecoming videos for them.
Great idea.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that idea. I love that idea.
That's a great idea.
Because it's a very emotional moment, and it's very beautiful, and there's going to be tears and hugs and, love. And
oh, that's an awesome idea.
Yeah. And another thing, now that's not a very happy part of what we're offering. So this Friday, one of my clients, she lost a child at birth. And I was like, my heart breaks for you. What can I do for you, right? She's like, well, I really would like to find a videographer to capture this. I was like, let me make some phone calls. And I did. And we attended the memorial service, and we filmed the video. The video got edited today, and we delivered it to her as a gift from us.
Oh, how amazing.
Yeah, and it's very heartbreaking. I actually watched it like as soon as I got here to the hotel when I checked in. And I mean, it's beautiful, and it's something they're going to keep. And keep in mind that client will never, ever forget this particular thing you did for them.
I mean, you can't put a price tag on that kind of a gift for somebody.
Yeah, you're right about that. So I want to go back to it, and I unplugged my headphones to see if you can listen to it. So I'm going to keep playing it. So for those of you who've gotten on late, we're showing Lana's most recent video that her team just did that's currently at 11,000 views. So see if you can hear it better now that I'm not on headphones, all right?
Yeah, you can now.
Clearly falling off the bench. Not sure what I'm doing, but majority of my team, some of the people from the office, husband.
Was that you, Lana?
No, I was just sharing who we featured. Most of them are my team members, my husband, a couple of people from my new office.
So this has 55 shares.
It's not hard.
Well, and you guys probably had a ton of fun while filming it too.
Yeah.
So good, so good, so good.
Oh, God. Way to go! Way to go!
Thank you,
And I think the point of sharing this is that you see what they just did. Not only did they create a viral video, so they're getting like millions of eyeballs, but look at the culture that you just executed on with your team. I mean, how awesome is that? And they had so much fun, I bet. I mean, that's what people need to be doing. Lana, you crushed it. And
Oh, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, they were excited. We try to do a lot of team bonding activities, but I feel like, dancing together, it never gets old. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I love it. Noelle, she just challenged us, basically, is what she just did.
She did. I don't know if I can do it.
You guys can do that.
Oh, totally.
To be perfect. Maybe we'll do it tonight. Who knows?
Oh, you can't do it without me.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, it's your fault that you're not here. It's your own fault.
That would be massive FOMO. I would have more FOMO. I couldn't even watch. I would have to just turn off Facebook for a few days.
Do we need to show you the ocean again? Show you what
Stop it.
Yep.
Stop it.
Look it's one of the best beaches. One of the best beaches in America, I think they said. That's what you're missing.
I've already got Cuevas chiming in saying that why aren't I there? And yes, I'm not there, Mike. I too much travel recently. I had to stay home this time.
Lame. All right.
I know.
Reach out, follow Lana. If you don't follow Lana, follow her. She is also just killing it with her videos. As you just saw, she's got a lot of awesome ideas, clearly. There's ways, people, to use a video that you don't even think about, like the stuff that she just said. If you missed it, go back, rewatch this. It is amazing. You can use video as a gift. You can use it as a gift for the people that you work with. One thing that we've been doing is we've been using it for nonprofits in the area too. So we've been gifting our video time to local nonprofits for various things that they're trying to promote.
That's very nice. I've not thought about that. Thank you for that idea. Yeah,
I mean, you can use it all sorts of ways. So
I love it. How did you guys come up with the idea about the military one? That was really good.
Well, I was just thinking, how can I give back to my clients, right? And there's a lot of photographers who volunteer their time during homecoming. I was like, haven't seen the video ad, so kind of brainstormed, Googled it, and I seen other cities do that. So I was like, why not?
It's really awesome. And those videos are viral every time too. I mean, that's so brilliant. So how do you tie that back to real estate at all? Do you brand it? What do you do? Or are you just doing it purely as a gift to the client?
So Jeff, that's a very good question. I have been selling real estate in Colorado Springs area for about 5 years, and my husband is also military member. He was active duty for about 9 years. Now he's a part of National Guard, and I'm an immigrant. So when I came to America, it was very lonely for me, right? Before I learned how to speak proper English and do many other things. So when I started real estate business, I have created a community within Colorado Springs called PCS Colorado, and we literally about have I want to say 400, maybe 450 actively living clients, and we bring them together. If I could bring them together every month, I would, but we try to, do the budgeting. So we do it every quarter. So I'm just going to promote it within my community, and I know the word is going to spread around. Now, once again, I do this for the good and not to gain more business, but I know my clients will support me and refer me anyway. So that's just my thinking.
Back to the thing of coming from a place of authenticity and genuine, just wanting to give back. That is how you do it.
I agree.
You do it to get the business. You do it to give something, and the business will naturally come back.
Yeah, and that's how we've done it. That's how we've done it. For the last 5 years, very blessed to work by referral. Trying to do some online lead gen and whatnot, but referral it's powerful, and especially if you can highlight with video. Why not, right?
Yep. Exactly.
It's awesome. So if you have a team or a brokerage, go follow Lana, watch what she just did, and the next viral video comes out, because remember last year it was Kiki, the Kiki song, right?
Yeah.
That was popular. It's views. And of all people, Mrs. shaking my head right now, who dives into a lake and puts a camera in the water. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's all about the views.
No, that
shocking.
We should be talking about your video, Miss EXP.
Lana, I can say that. You can't say that.
We're brand agnostic here. We are brand agnostic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, change of topic. So,
thank you. I'm sweating here.
I'm planning another video. I'm not ready to do it yet, but I have been planning it for the last 90 days. And this is going to be the hashtag the weight loss dance video.
Ooh.
So I'm a mom of two. I have a 4-year-old and I have a 10-month-old, right? and I have gained quite a bit of weight. May not look like this because I'm like intermittent fasting and doing other things, but I have this video in mind, what I'm gonna do. I think it may go viral the way I have it planned, where I'm gonna show my weight loss transformation. I'm about 15 pounds short. So when, I'm gonna make sure I tag you guys when it comes out.
Take us.
Great.
I want to see it.
That sounds fun. That sounds like and you know what? That is a great idea for a video because every single mom on the planet will relate and absolutely love it. It's like Noelle's with it you did with the curlers in your hair.
Oh my God,
Actually,
yes.
That mom video, let's talk about that for a second. That mom video, I almost didn't post that thing.
I know.
I really almost didn't post it because I was really afraid of fallout from, I've got a lot of girlfriends that are stay-at-home moms, and I've got a lot of mom friends that are like trying to make it part-time, and I didn't want to be offensive, but I wanted to share my story as to how difficult it really was to get work done from home with little kids at home. And so I came up with obviously that video, and that video has been actually one of my slowest growing but continually getting views. It's still getting comments on it several weeks later, which normally when you post a video it has a shelf life, right? And that one is still going because people go back and watch it because it makes them feel like they are not the only ones dealing with that scenario. And yeah, that was never, if you have an idea for a video and you're afraid to post it, have somebody else preview it that you can trust to give you their opinion, because that's what I did, and they were like, I don't see what's wrong with it. So then I trusted it and posted, and I'm glad that I did. But it was one of those videos that it almost didn't make it out there.
So Noelle, may I ask you this? So since you're a professional videographer, and how did you deal with those negative reviews? Because I can see how that video would be perception differently. What was your reaction? Because I want to know how I can deal with something like that too.
Yeah. So I actually, on that particular one, people just silently objected. I didn't have anybody actually come out and say anything negative to my face. But you know, I think I always premise, if I'm feeling really raw or like vulnerable about something and posting it, I'm usually putting that in my post. Like I'm putting it out there when I put my post out there so that people know that I didn't just post it without thinking. Like I thought really hard before I posted something. Normally everything that I post, there's quite a bit of thought that goes into it. I rarely ever just throw up a post and I'm like, here it is.
Yeah.
I'm usually thinking about it. So when I've got something that I'm feeling really vulnerable about, I share that because that goes a long way. And then I think it also diffuses some of that negative reaction that you might get.
Yeah. 100%. I tell people when the first time they go live, because there's still a lot of people that have never gone live, the first time you go live, you're going to be so nervous. You're going to be nervous probably when you do it the 25th time. But the first time, let your audience know how nervous you are. Like be authentic. Let them know. They're going to give you more love as a result of that. And so just let it out there. Let your emotions or let your how you're feeling be known, because people will eat it up and then support you. And Lana, I think that you said, you know, how do you deal with the haters? You got to ignore them.
Yeah, you do. And you know what they say, if you don't have haters, you're probably doing something wrong, right?
If you have haters, it means you've made it. It means people are paying attention to you. Yeah. Totally. 100%.
That's true. And you just have to be you.
Yep. And you keep doing it over time. Eventually the haters, they won't say it, but they stop commenting because they're impressed and they're like, damn, okay, now I get it. What they're doing is
the haters become the ghost followers.
Yes.
100%. Ghost followers, another video of Miss Noelle. You guys have to see that. It was so hilarious.
That's right.
You guys. Here's the last question, because I don't know how much time we have. How raw is raw? A few months ago, I have let go of an employee, and I was just so sad. It was time for her to go. She was not a good fit, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. Well, I woke up in the morning, and I decided to do a Facebook Live video. I did it for about, I want to say 20 minutes. I maybe cried a little. I got very angry, and then I got very sad. I also possibly dropped a couple F-bombs. In 3 hours, that video got 3,000 views on Facebook. People were so concerned about me. Lana, are you okay? What's going on? And then, of course, my managing broker called me and said that needs to go down. How do we feel about that? Was it too raw?
Okay, you want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
Here we go. I think yes. I think sometimes some things have to be kept more private. And so if you want to have a video like that go out, or you feel like you really just need to let it out, maybe have a private Facebook group where you can express that and go live in that kind of a setting where, because I personally think, I mean, if your broker is telling you to take it down, you may push the boundary.
No,
Jeff,
you know,
Jeff is going to disagree. Cuevas is going to disagree.
No, listen. I disagree that the broker asked you to take it down, because most of the time the brokers are asking you to take it down for the wrong reasons, because they just don't. There really isn't a good reason. Like, it's too political.
Let's hear.
But I will say this. I wouldn't do it, because it's just. I think it's more of it's more. The females probably have more of an inclination to show the emotion on camera. Not always, because I've seen Bjorkman do it, right? And it was actually it captivated me. I watched the whole thing. I wanted to give him a hug. But in all seriousness, I would say this: if you're going to share emotion and you have a purpose for it, like you want to share an experience, but I would definitely keep anger off camera, because nothing good's going to come. You're probably going to say something you regret, and that's what you would pull down. But
okay. Yes, I totally agree with that. Yes. Like I've cried. I cry on my Facebook lives all the time. I mean, come on. If you could follow my Monday morning lives, I cry all the time. Oh, I forgot to do my Monday morning live today, actually. But you know, the anger thing, I think people want to follow somebody that has real raw emotion, but when it turns negative, that for some reason usually is a turnoff. Like, people are coming to Facebook to like get uplifted usually.
Agree. Or support you if you're down. But if you're angry, nothing good's gonna come from anger.
Anger can work in private groups.
Sure.
Yeah. And to be honest, guys, I don't know what I was thinking, but I'll tell you what has happened. My husband and my little 4-year-old were watching this video on the second floor too. And guess who was repeating an F word for next 2 weeks?
Yeah. So I guess for
not a good deal.
For me, and this is the thing that I say to Mike Cuevas, because we've talked about this before, and I think he's still watching. But I'm usually watching Facebook at night when I'm home sitting on the couch with my kids. And so if something comes up that I don't want them to hear, I'm automatically going to shut it off. And then I might not watch their videos again when I'm around my kids. So just a promise.
Crap.
You can watch safely.
Thank you.
See, Noelle's a non-cusser, I'm a cusser. So that's, you know, we differ in all ways. That's just the way it rolls.
If you hear a naughty word coming out of my mouth, you better be running the opposite direction.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Lana, this has been such a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Noelle.
Thank you. We'll be having fun without you here, Jeff.
Air hugs.
Hug.
Hey, great job on the video. Again, if you didn't watch it, if you go back and watch this, if you're just getting in now, go watch the Get Up Challenge, Lana Rodriguez's team. On Facebook. Where can they find you? What page was that on? Personal, business?
The PCS Colorado, the Lana Rodriguez group. We're in Colorado Springs. Currently with K-Dub. Not EXP yet. We're not drunk, I promise.
She has not had any drinks.
Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. Awesome. Hey, ladies, have fun. Have a few drinks for me. Enjoy it. And bring back some knowledge, Noelle.
All right. Sounds good. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Actually, no, not next week.
Oh, yeah.
Labor Day.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
All right. See you in
Bye-bye.
2 weeks.